So today I'm going to show you the coolest combo deck I've made this set. It wins out of nowhere with a very off-meta combo that does so much damage when you can pull it off. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today I'm all about having some good old-fashioned fun on the ladder with a combo deck I can't wait to show you. Don't forget though to like and subscribe below, it massively helps out and I want to thank you all for the support that you give this channel. But onto this deck, and I'm bringing out an old combo favourite in Devilish Valet with a new card in Monstrous Rage to make it even easier to win in just one swing. So the Devil is a 1/3 3-drop with haste and trample, whose power doubles until end of turn each time a creature you control ETBs. So to get this to swing for 20 plus damage on your turn, you need to get 5 extra creatures to ETB before damage. There are some very roundabout ways to do this, but with Wilds of Eldraine we get Monstrous Rage, which makes this so much easier it even becomes viable. You want to target the Valet with the Rage pre-combat to turn your Valet to a 4-power creature, then you'll only need 3 creatures to ETB for that lethal swing this turn, and we have 2 ways to do this. Firstly, an old way in Gleeful Demolition. You can destroy an artifact that you control to get 3 goblins. Do this and your Valet is now a 32-power creature with trample, and we have loads of artifacts to destroy, so this is not a problem at all. The other way uses a really cool interaction with Beseech the Mirror. When you target your Valet with a Monstrous Rage, you can then play Beseech, bargain in the roll token that you've just created. When Beseech is played with its bargain cost, you can search for any 4 mana or less spell in your deck and play it for free. You can always search for Gleeful Demolition if you have an artifact to sacrifice, but don't fret if you don't, because hidden in our deck are 2 copies of Captain's Call. For 4 mana, they create 3 soldiers, which is enough to trigger your Valet to go from 3 power to 6 to 12 and then 24. The fact the actual roll token isn't on the Devil at this point doesn't matter, as we have enough power to hopefully swing for lethal here. The rest of the deck contains cards to help get us into the position for our turn 4 or turn 5 wins. Creature wise, we have Voldaren Epicure, amazing 1-drops for us which we can use the blood to loot away redundant cards, or as fodder for the Beseech or the Demolition. We have Riveteers Requisitioner, probably the key card for us, as when they die you get a crucial treasure. They are in themselves 3/1s for 2 mana, so can get some early damage in, and are typically removal magnets, allowing our Devils to hopefully swerve those cutdowns that your opponent might have. Speaking of cutdowns, this deck is very reliant on one specific creature being on the battlefield, so we have to give it some protection. That's why I'm splashing green in this deck solely for Tyvar Stand. It might seem a little crazy to splash for just one really cheap card, but it is extremely vital for us. A cool play too is using the Tyvar Stand as a way to buff our Valet pre-Gleeful Demolition for a lethal swing, so it really is perfect and absolutely essential in this deck. As we have a weird mana base to play a 3 black mana Beseech, we do get to play Diabolic Intent too. It sacrifices a creature to tutor any card. I normally like to sacrifice the Requisitioner to get a treasure out of it too, and I'm always using it to find those combo pieces. Lastly, I've got Volcanic Spite and Brotherhood's End for searchable removal if needed. 25 lands, all set to be able to cast a Beseech on turn 4 without missing any early red plays, and our mana base allows exactly that, and that's the deck. So this deck is crazy to me, but has given me some of the most fun I've had in Arena for a long time. I got some amazing games to show you just how this combo works and how explosive it can be, so give them a watch. And if you have any thoughts on this deck or cards I should play going forward, you can let me know in the comments below. You can find me over on Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching. Alright, on the play, and this looks like a pretty nice hand for us. A couple of Valets is exactly what we want to see. So we're looking to try and find a treasure from this Requisitioner. You can always blitz it out if you need to for 3 mana. But normally if you just play it for its 2 mana, it will die along the way anyway. Another Beseech for us. So I like where we are, we just need to hit some land drops. Opponent with a Kami of Transient suggests a Selesnya enchantment deck. So we've got to be a little bit careful about cards like Ossification. So I'm going to hold back the Requisitioner in case they want to attack with their Kami. I will be happy to block with our 3/1. That is a Weaver of Harmony, okay. And they do attack. Well, we'll absolutely block that. We get a treasure out of it. And let's see where we go. Okay, Ziatora is Proving Ground. Tap land is not the worst thing I want to say, but I do worry about Ossification, especially as the Weaver of Harmony can double its trigger, so they can actually take both of our creatures. But let's set ourselves up for a win next turn. Let's see if they can see the potential threat on the board here, because we have lethal in our hand. We have lethal with just one of the valets, so that's why I'm nervous about the Weaver here. That's a Kami, and I think that's going to be good for us. And a Regal Bunnycorn is a 3-3, but we absolutely have a lethal attack here. They're never going to see this one coming. And this is the cool interaction that Monstrous Rage has with Beseech, because Monstrous Rage here adds a roll token, and we can Beseech that roll token immediately by bargaining our card here. And although that reduces the power of the Valet, it's still sufficient that when we play this Captain's Call for free, our Valet becomes more than enough power. But we have 2 Valets anyway, so this is going to be a bit of overkill. But as you can see, we had 24 power creature would have been enough to kill our opponent anyway. And yeah, really good win there, and a perfect game to show how this combo can work. Alright, on the play. And yeah, this one's good. We have our Epicure into Gleeful Demolition with Valet, so in fact, this is extremely good. What are we looking for along the way? We need like maybe a Monstrous Rage. Tyvar Stand can do it. That can pump our Valet pre-combat, meaning that the Gleeful Demolition will pump our Valet just enough to get the lethal damage through. Opponent with Mire, okay. So not sure what we're up against, as they have 4 colours in their mana base. But I am going to attack with the Requisitioner. If anything, this is going to put them down to 15, but they may well block this. And they do. Okay, I'll take the treasure. So we could play the Valet here, which would give us lethal next turn, actually, with the Tyvar Stand and the Demolition. But I'm going to just wait. And they play the Celestus. I did want to play the Valet and then them target my creature, and we have to use the stand, because I need to use that in conjunction with our Gleeful Demolition on the same turn. But they didn't remove our card last turn. Well, they played the Celestus, so I'm thinking I'm just going to play the Valet here. Attack the opponent. Fingers crossed this survives, but we can save it if we need to with our Tyvar Stand. Invasion of Zendikar for our opponent. So they're going to go up to 6 mana, but we're going to absolutely beat them this turn. So this is the other way our deck can win the game. So this time we're going to cast Tyvar Stand for X equals what, 4? X equals 4. And then that should be more than enough damage when we cast the Gleeful Demolition, sacrificing our blood token. And yeah, the Tyvar Stand showing its multi-use there, not only being able to protect our creature if needed, but giving us that all-important extra power before Gleeful Demolition does the rest. Alright, on the play. And another pretty nice hand for us here. Epicure here on turn 1 is going to give us the blood token we need to maybe Beseech the Mirror with. Who knows? We'll see where this goes. But we'll cast this Requisitioner. I don't think I've had more fun playing a deck for a long time. I don't know what it is about this one. I just feel like no one sees it coming. I get to use some pretty cool cards that I like. Cards that I've never played before. To be honest, I don't think I've ever played with the Requisitioner before. Gleeful Demolition is a card I've always wanted to play with, but never felt that it did quite enough damage on your turn. It's good for Convoke decks. But opponent with a Rot Priest, not something you like to see, but I'm absolutely fine with that considering our hand is as strong as it is. I doubt they're going to attack with this one too. And that is a Duelist. And Prosthetic Injector. Alright, so they are all in on the toxic damage. And that is a Beseech. If that was a land, I think we might have been able to win next turn, if not this turn. But anyhow, free attack here with our Valet. So next turn, what, we can just play the Beseech and target our blood token, find Captain's Call. This is if we find a land, but the opponent's just done that for us by killing our Requisitioner, so we absolutely have a lethal attack next turn. They're going to attack us. I'm just not going to block. Yeah, so Beseech next turn, targeting the blood token, finding Captain's Call. It's going to put both our valets way out of range of our opponent. I feel like Beseech the Mirror is such a good combo enabler. We just drew Gleeful Demolition, so we can do this another way actually. We can target the valet with our Monstrous Rage. Gleeful Demolition, sacrificing our blood, and that is another way to win. So, ended up getting there through the Demolition, but like I said, we could have Beseeched looking for Captain's Call instead. Alright, on the play. Yeah, this is a decent hand. I think I've been quite lucky with my opening hands. I do like having the Beseech because it does sort of fill those gaps of your combo. But we will see how this one goes. Opponent with the Fair Basilica, so that is a white mana. So I always feel like that pushes towards mono white. But not in this case. It is an Epicure, so they are a Boros deck. And I guess we could just spite this 1-1 whilst we have a chance. I'm going to want to probably cast the Valet next turn. We'll pop one of these Rages back in our deck. And that is a land. And another land. Okay, well, these are tap lands, so we'll drop that. Opponent didn't do anything. That is a Requisitioner, which we could blitz now. That would give us a treasure. But let's just go for this Valet. I'm sure it could be removed. It may well be removed. We had a Beseech in our hand if we need to find another. But I'm not scared of the opponent's deck. Brutal Cathar, okay. Maybe I should be scared of their deck. Let's see how this one goes, though. So we will... Well, we have Beseech next turn, so we can look for a removal spell. I think that would give us back our Devil. We did just draw Gleeful Demolition. So there's no reason why we can't destroy the Brutal Cathar and try and win on the same turn that we do that. So we could take the Volcanic Spite. But you know what? I think the best bet here is to take Brotherhood's End. And I'm going to try and go for one of the cheekiest victories. We'll see what they do, though. It is a Regal Bunnycorn, okay. And another Regal Bunnycorn, sure. Okay, well, the bunnies being 4/4s are slightly annoying. I think what we'll do is we'll cast the Requisitioner here. We can then Brotherhood's End. And this gets us a treasure token. The Valet back on the battlefield. What I was really hoping to be able to do is have the mana there to then cast the Monstrous Rage and then the Gleeful Demolition on our treasure token. But we might be able to do it next turn, and to be honest, we have another Valet in our hand, so even if they destroyed that one, we have lethal. Opponent with Mire, and yeah, this is lethal. We'll cast our second Valet. Monstrous Rage. I guess we should have put Monstrous Rage on this Valet before we cast the other Valet there. It's not going to make any difference because we can use the Gleeful Demolition to take care of this treasure that we cleverly created earlier by killing our Requisitioner. And that is a 48 power attack, and opponent has had enough. Alright, on the play here. Another pretty nice hand for us. Fingers crossed these Requisitioners can get us our land drops that we need by, well, make us the treasures that we need to cast our Valet on curve. But Epicure is our absolute perfect turn 1 play. Opponent with Skrelv could mean anything, to be honest. Get this Requisitioner down and free attack there with the Epicure. So all this kind of damage that we're doing throughout the game, in this case another 4, does help if we need to Valet without kind of comboing with Beseech or Monstrous Rage. It allows us to use the Gleeful Demolition. We have a Captain's Call in our hand, which we can always cast with the treasure created by Requisitioner. But opponent finds a Steel Seraph. So can we race the potential life gain that they're going to be getting? We don't find a third mana. Alright, well, I'm going to smash for these two 3-power creatures. I really doubt they're going to block. No. But we take them down to 8. And let's see if we can try and hit a land drop by putting our Captain's Call into our graveyard. And that is a Haunted Ridge, which is exactly what we need. So, not sure how this game's going to go. Opponent on Azorius, it looks like. And another Steel Seraph. Okay. So, Vigilance and Lifelink is going to be a bit of a pain for us. But they target their Skrelv with Flying instead. I don't know about that. I would have probably done the Seraph with Vigilance and Lifelink. But we get to attack for another 6 damage. Opponent goes down to 5. And let's drop our Mountain. And I guess we need to cast something now. So let's drop the Valet. A land next turn would be very nice for us. The Valet is looking very naked out there. But they faithfully mend instead, gaining 2 life. Drawing 2 cards. And that is a portal in the graveyard. So it looks like they are Reanimator. And I guess that fits with the Seraphs, as reanimating these would give them the non-prototype version. But this time the opponent is getting in there with both Steel Seraphs with Lifelink. So they go back up to 12. We go down to 10. This is a bit of a grind for our deck. I'm really interested to see how we cope here. That is Monstrous Rage. Still no green mana, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Beseech here. They haven't shown us they've got any removal. If they are a Reanimator deck, I'm presumably they're just going to reanimate that portal this coming turn. So I'm looking for Rockfall Vale here. This gives us a tiny bit of protection with Tyvar stand. But what it also means is that next turn we have lethal with the Monstrous Rage and the Beseech. So as long as our Valet is still around, I'm pretty happy. Another Faithful Mending. And what do they follow up with? They find their 5th mana. Another Angel. Okay, so that's 3 3/3s, but I really don't think that they're going to be able to deal with this Valet, you know. Even if they both get Lifelink, which I'm sure they're going to do. Yep. Okay, they do attack us for 6. That's fine. We only go down to 4. Alright, this is our turn. I'm pretty sure we got lethal here, if I've done my math correctly. They are tapped out. That's an Epicure. That doesn't matter, because we can just cast our Monstrous Rage here. Target our Valet. And yeah, Beseech the roll token. And we're also attacking with the 2 Requisitions as well, so this is more than enough damage here. I doubt they saw this coming, although if anyone ever plays that Valet, I always am wary that they are going to do something crazy with it. And this, yeah, opponent scoops it up before we get to attack them.